My people, una good morning, good afternoon, good evening, according to una time, wherever una day. Today, information about this cement increment in Nigeria, particularly in Edo State. Because at the end of the day, na Edo State side, na they always suffer this increment of cement. Because we not dey close to the place where the cement for the produce, like Lagos State. Even in Lagos State, not be the price where they take dey buy the cement before, they take dey buy am now. In Edo State, na e don become 4,000 naira. Even sef, there's even a possibility that it will even increase more than that if care is not taken. The reason why me come bring this topic now be say, why be say states wey get the natural resources, na dem dey always dey suffer the benefit of the resources wey dem get. Even in crude oil, states wey get this crude oil, na dem, if you see the state, in fact, other states dey enjoy wetin other states get. So I don't know if maybe they conspire in a conspiracy about, concerning some of the leaders in each state. But particularly the one when we want to talk, not the one we concern my state, Edo State, because we not get any other state apart from Edo State. And moreover, to cram it all, Edo State was a kingdom, a nation on their own. So that any leaders wey they come in, they have to be going that debate before they get elected into the office, so that they go know what they are in there for. That they should not be comparing themselves with other leaders in the other states in that country. They should know that Edo State is different. It's a different state and the oldest city in Nigeria, and is the bedrock of that country called Nigeria. And through Edo State is the state that give birth, a kingdom that give birth to Nigeria. So any governor, any leaders we want that Edo State should know, all those things, that this calling of a leadership is not for his own pocket or for his own family, but it's for the Edo State, a kingdom, a nation on their own before the coming of the so-called colony. So we should not take anything just for granted, just because of say the Nigeria hardship day, now so corruption or here and there. They should know the ancestral background. Like Edo State, this is not to say we are not in peace, or not we are not a unity country. But the reason why they talk like that be say the Edo State has natural resources wey be say they go fit produce this cement. Wey be say they become costly in Edo State, because Edo State have limestone. Limestone, for people we don't understand what it be limestone. Limestone is the raw material in which you can produce a cement. It's just like a crude oil. That is the way limestone is to a cement, to become properly form. I mean, so people, they should not forget that they're not supposed to be say those states we get the limestone, the raw materials. Now there the cement they cost higher than the other states. So waiting me the talk is that, even if they not fit stop the price, but the thing is that they should do something to make sure that this whole thing come down. And moreover, the state government should try as much as possible to build this cement factory in Edo State. Or if you don't fit build cement factory for Edo State, if you call on foreign investors, when it be say then go they buy the crude material, but then go get a refine like a production, cement production industry there, then or factory there, then go they produce cement, while the limestone then go they buy as a raw material till they produce cement there, so that then go fit they pay tax. At the end of the day, they officially employ the jobless youth. So Edo State go fit still take grow. All those things now things we be say them supposed to dey think about to work towards. Because I remember the other time wey Obaseki said that Edo State has a raw material that is reliable for production of cement, and with that Edo State can be versatile to the world, even more large as in terms of economic growth in the state and even in the country Nigeria at large. So why be saying the same Edo State now, they are not seeing the benefit of these things? So does that mean that the limestone in Edo State are no longer quality enough to produce a solid cement to build houses? Or the other time I heard is that the Edo State limestone is quality enough to have a good cement production. So make them not take that for granted, because all those things now will fit stop all those things. But with the way the country take they go now, it's just that people still need to build. If you have one benefit of natural resources in your state, you should work on that. So not every time they wait for allocation or whatever from other states to benefit from the natural resources from another state because of this allocation issue of a thing. Those leaders should start learning how to build on the one they already had. So now wetin make me come talk and be this, because things they increase every day. Even farm people have to. I know say the governor have been encouraging people to go into farming. So even all those things, all the people don't they get the ideas now of going to farming industry, or going to farming to make any living. So the other thing is that this is a limestone issue. You see, a reasonable thing. We be say go fit bring things easily to the states. If for example say the state we be say they produce cement now from that natural resources called limestone, we be say those state have. So if suppose say that they produce cement from that state, so who go bother to they go to Lagos or to the sale talk say one person now they give issue license to produce cement in the whole country, so they must buy from that person according to the price where the person put. Nobody go they go there. It go be like say you have a choice, you have option. So you will choose to go buy the one of 4,000 something. So you know there's no way it will cost to the extent we be say those state cities will feel afford if those state work on the limestone that they have already. So will feel cost to that extent. So now wetin I get come tell our people be that, also particularly in this case of cement issue, this is not the issue of the masses or the citizens of that state, but is the issue that the leaders of that state have to tackle about. Because other leaders with the other states, they not go fit come develop wetin another state get for that state. Because now the state leaders now then know where the shoes where they wear for the inch them. That is the ones where he realize say this state now state will be say they get resources, and if they value that thing which they have. It's just that this thing have to open many leaders of that state eye to see that this limestone is a very, very unique thing that they can work about, that can hinder a state a reasonable economical growth, also the reputation of the state to stand as well as it's supposed to be. So now wetin make me come talk about this, because I don't know the reason why be say cement could cost up to 4,000 something or 4,000 naira in Edo State, whereby Edo State have the natural resources, the crude resources there. They have the limestone there. So why wetin dey stop them not to work? If in fact if a leader or a governor of the state use even 3 to 4 years to work into that, to make sure say this limestone become productive in the state, to become a cement, to make and become a cement factory whereby can give many advantage to the state. So e no go be a bad thing, and they can even name it after the name of the governor at the end of the day in lifetime. So it's not something that somebody will just do. So now wetin they supposed to think about, say make they do one thing, will be say people go take dey remember them after they leave office, and wetin go fit bring peace and to the state to know that they can do on their own, not to be waiting for other states. Although those states has never been waiting for other states before they do on their own. Those states, they channel their own way to do on their own instead of disturbing the leaders, because now that is how they have been living. Despite say that they call them now minority, but one thing is that they are not minority. The South zone are not minorities. That is what they need to address. So person not just come from nowhere to call you minority without you following the history of your background, and you decide that you are a minority. So every other thing now you have to look up to the people that are minority because they tell you that you are a minority. So therefore you cannot take that, because what I be say, you cannot be recognized of minority. The colony came, they recognize the old people as a minority before they leave them on their own. At the end of the day, other group in the country again could come to say these are minority on whose ideas will they call other people a minority in the same country that they call. So if everybody were to go back to the drawing board, how the Nigeria were formed, so that is where people supposed to draw their line from. How Nigeria were formed. So where are those people that are calling themselves a majority? Who are they? Where are their origin from? How were they living? How before this country were formed? How was it like? So that is where you can draw this minority or majority out from. And even to cram it all, Edo State is the only marginalization state that have don't be on their own and create their own by themselves as a Midwestern region. This is South zones are the only marginalization states, I mean to say, that have the ideas to give themselves their own region. Apart from that, all those ones that call themselves a majority, they were giving those regions, created those regions from the colony, whereby the things that affect them till today, their brain is still on that brain which the colony create those states for them. So now it made that they talk, say if this one are majority, this one are majority. When this one rule finish, the other one will carry on. When the other one rule finish, the other one will carry on. Based on that ideas, and now they make the country not they grow. Because the idea of that which the colony don't place or down, now they see they work on the go, and they never realize that they have to recreate the country on their own way, so that they can know, so that they'll begin know where they head to. Like those states, that the South zones now, despite that the South zone when they vex the country go shake, but they know they cause all those problems of here and there. The only South zone governor with those rule, they never corrupt reach all those leaders whether they rule for other zone, other regions whether they call themselves majorities. So now even the majority now they even kill that country. The ones who they call themselves majority. When Goodluck Jonathan ruled, the country was peaceful than this. He even said people have freedom even than this, and he would have made a good president if supposing that he had the opportunity to do so. So because of the idea of a majority, minority, so blah blah blah, so everything have to just be going zigzag. And even to cram it, or even the minority where they call minority, now they even have the largest raw materials where they carry the economy, the boom for that country. So therefore, nobody should consider his or herself a minority in South zone because of say someone in some part of zone say so. So that is where we should start drawing the drawing board from, so that they will know what they have to take work on it. When people don't call themselves majority, at the end of the day, everything must come from majority. So that is what I have to say, that Those states have limestone. They should work on the things that they have. If the state must grow, at the end of the day, the same cement where they want to go buy for another place come, we want they costly. Now they go now they see go still produce on their own in their state. Moreover, they should even seek for approve of a certificate for whoever want to go into the business of cement production, because it should not be given to one particular person or two particular people. So they should make it a thing that, like a form of, you are opening a business, that when you are qualified enough, you can go there and register a factory of a cement factory. The government will give you the president will the government will issue you a certificate that permits you to have a factory to produce those things. So it should not be a particular person from other particular state. Every state have their own natural resources. It is hardly to find a state in that country where we say they don't get one blessed resources or one of the other. All states have one blessed resources or the other. So some are there, they are agriculture. Even safe, no state from the south not even blessed. Those states are also blessed with this agriculture something. So some states even have more than one natural resources in the states. So therefore, who are they waiting for before they can start establishing things? So now waiting go fit stop all those things be this. One person now will fit the supply the whole country cement without increase. So it should be that individuals that anybody that are qualified, if you have the limestone in your state, you can work on it. You can set up a production industry there, a factory that can produce those limestone that can make it to become cement, so that they can also transport. Then the country will begin to the boom. Everything will start to work out, instead of this one thing of majority minority issue where they share all together. So the rest are going on their own path again. So it's not something that I've seen. I never seen and say they don't really ready to face the reality. But one thing when they talk is that if they decide to be going like that, fine. But one thing is that the leader in this state should work on what they have, what they are blessed of in their states. Despite that the country is going the way it has been going, but if they should go in that way and they should provide for that, nothing without solution. If there is limestone in Edo State governor should see to that and to see what he can do about that, so that Edo State can also have their own factory to employ workers, also to serve as a source of income to the state, also to the country at large. So now, so I see am. That one finish for there. This other matter again concerning passports, where be say many citizens of the country no dey see their a passport again, that then they complain say if they go renew their passports, they know they quick come out, and it's either they tell them say booklets not dey, or one thing or the other. So many come dey tired of it. Even in Edo State, in South Zone Nigeria, they say they know they they see passports there. Say the passport where they're supposed to issue them for their states, that they not will see for their state. Say then they refer them to other states like the northern states in that country. Even if like those states now, they say they know all those things now. One of the problems that they face concerning passport, issuing of passports. Say some of them know they get, even the South Zone, they go there, they know they see the same thing situation, that they have to be referring them to the northern state. So does that mean say above all those things now, the way me they see those things, does that mean say now only the northern state can be the Nigerian way that they talk about? So they should do something about this whole thing. They should not just be ignoring things to get out of hand, make things is delayed too much. Because now only those identities of a Nigerian will fit they identify the Nigerians and the non-Nigerian, and they will also fight crimes. It has to do with identity first and foremost. So the immigration officer, whoever is in the office, should know that without those identity crime go dey difficult. So na im make the national ID card wey dem dey issue that time, that people, Nigerians, have to have a national ID card, because things don dey change. Because that is the only way wey police go fit still dey try to do their job. So the ones wey still get national passport, if they wan come issue passport, make dem dey issue them as fast as possible according to the law that guides passport issuing. Make dem dey try to follow their own side of it, so that the country will fit be a better place. Because now only that national passports now we see fit they feel as a Nigerian. So make them not they use until they suffer, that they delay. That's why I say, my people,
stay safe and be blessed as you listen.